the Music in Our Schools Month concert. March is Music in Our Schools Month, where we celebrate all of the hard work of all of the music programs in schools. That can range from choir and theater to various dance, music and dance, and of course also instrumental music, which we will be showing off tonight. We've worked on a lot of things this past couple of months. In this concert, I'd like to push my students to the best of their ability to learn new things about music. In particular, the sixth grade band has learned terms like staccato, legato, subito, and a lot of other musical terms that are really exciting for new players and allow them to reach a higher level. So I'm very excited to present the sixth grade band to you. We will be playing a favorite that I have programmed before called Tadpoles. We will also be playing Moonlight Bliss. And finally, we will play Dark Beginnings. I hope you enjoy our sixth grade band. As they're getting their next song out, I wanted to talk about these guys just a little bit. So this is our second concert together, and they have improved a lot since the last one. I hope you guys can hear that. Since the Christmas concert, they have gone through a lot of growth. It's not easy being a young musician. It's a little nerve-wracking being up on stage in front of all these people. So just know if you're a parent of a sixth grader, they have done a really great job, and they're growing pretty fast. So I'm really proud of these guys up on stage. We also have a birthday. Noah, can you wave to everybody? It is Noah's birthday today. song can be a little disruptive, so if you could whisper, that'd be awesome. Thank you. ahead and come up, guys. Thanks for being patient. Tonight, for 7th and 8th grade band, we have something new that actually none of my other ensembles have worked on yet. It's called a suite. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of a suite before in music. Not like the candy you eat, but like the piece. Okay, good. Let me tell you a little bit about it, okay? So a suite, like spelled as in the fancy hotel room that you might get, is a piece of music that has multiple movements in it. And usually those movements are all themed around one thing. And in this particular suite, we are playing the garden suite because it's springtime and it's really fun. So in traditional Western music, you wouldn't clap in between each song because it is one big work. Of course, I am not as specific as they are, and I feel that you should clap when you feel inclined to, but it is interesting to know that if you were to go to a symphony and they would play a suite, you would notice the audience would not clap in between each part. The 7th and 8th grade band has been really good. They have reached every single one of my expectations, and I keep raising the bar, and somehow they keep getting there, which makes me really excited for the future. A lot of them are planning to continue with band in high school, which is really exciting. We have a very large 8th grade class here, which is great. So I'm very proud of these guys. I think you're going to enjoy the music a lot. So I'm going to present the Garden Suite with the first movement being frogs, which you will notice at some point, the frog catches the fly. And I want you to see if you can figure out when that happens. The second movement is March of the Arachnids. The third movement is flowers. And finally, the last movement is bees. And I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Without further ado, here's our 7th and 8th grade band. Woo! You may have also recognized two familiar melodies in that, being the Itsy Bitsy Spider and Shoe Fly. That piece was also in a time signature known as 6/8, which is a little bit more complicated, but I think they did a great job. On to the next one. last one called Bees uses a technique called buzzing, which is where you take the mouthpiece out of a brass instrument and use it kind of like a kazoo. And that is what's going to emulate the bees buzzing sound. It's really cool. I think you're really going to like this one. It's not that serious. And, all right. Great job, 7th, 8th grade band. Hey, if you grab the chair, please put it back. Interesting things. And you're going to hear the difference in Foundry compared to anything else that we played tonight. Foundry is all about mechanics and sounding like a machine. It's very rhythmic, it's very interesting, so I think you're really going to enjoy that. Our third piece is Life Eternal, which is a very difficult piece that they have pulled off pretty well. And then our last piece, which also might be a favorite, is called Critical Mass. So I hope you enjoy our high school day. we also have a birthday in the high school group. Could Bailey Carr please wave and stand up? It's Bailey's birthday today. Thanks, Malcolm, for that, which is super sweet, so thank you. This next piece is our last piece of the evening. We do not have a jazz band tonight due to the time constraints of the trip and everything back in January and February. We didn't really have a lot of time for rehearsal. Don't worry, jazz band will be back on the next concert. Also, students, if you're interested in being in jazz band next year, it's going to be a class. It's not going to be an after-school activity. So if you guys want to do jazz, you're going to have to sign up. That includes 8th graders that are currently in the audience, if you did your high school schedule already. If you want to be part of jazz band, it's going to be a class. Okay? So make sure you look at that if you're interested. So thanks everybody for coming out tonight. It means a lot to me and my students to see so many people come out and support us in our band, especially for Music in Our Schools Month. It like helps us realize that people do think we're important and things that we do are important. So just know that just by you coming tonight means a lot to all of my students and myself and really a lot of people. So I appreciate you, and if you have any questions or need anything after the concert, please come see me. And I hope you have a great night and an awesome spring. Here is Critical Max.
hard to schedule, so our administrators are really great about all that, so thank you. Thank you to my booster members for coming out and helping me, that's awesome. Thank you to the janitors and the kids that help set all the stands and everything. Thank you to the bus drivers.
Thank you to everybody for coming out tonight, and I hope you have a wonderful spring break. If you have any questions, come see me, and that's it. Great.